Thank you through you, Mr. Mayor. As I shared at the press conference last week, at the end of the day, this is about the health and safety of the individual and also the public at large. And in agreement with Councillor Paleshi about addictions being a disease, it is slightly different than cancer in that many of those with mental health and addictions issues like this are also a danger, not just to themselves, but to the public. Part of the reason why I'm attending the OBCM on behalf of Mayor Brown next week is because of my experience in the community in which I serve, where there has been a significant amount of mental health addictions issues, many of whom are living in encampments along the Etobicoke Creek Trail. And in dealing with that issue firsthand as a counselor, struggling with figuring out, what to do when fentanyl is found in tents and encampments, and police coming back regularly in situations like that. Security staff at risk, park staff at risk on a regular basis, because there are, in fact, people with significant and severe mental health and addictions issues who are unfortunately homeless and in encampments. And you take a look at the statistics from Peel Outreach, and more often than not, quite regularly, many of these folks are denying support and they are rejecting help being offered from various staff, whether that's security or police or fire or the region of Peel. I'm going to read a story because Peel Police provided this story of an individual who's homeless. 50-year-old man of no fixed address with well-documented mental health and addiction issues and nearly 60 police occurrences dating back to 2001. The individual is known to have paranoid delusions, has been apprehended under the Mental Health Act and found in possession of illegal substances, including crystal meth. Most recently, he was arrested for possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose adjacent to a community park. In addition to knives, methamphetamine was located during this arrest. In 2023, he was arrested for possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose after showing a knife to a clerk that would not provide him with an item, and assault with a weapon for attempting to strike a security guard with a metal bar when asked to leave a premises. Prior to this, the man was charged with assault with a weapon after attempting to strike a random passerby with a knife, committed robbery at local convenience stores while in possession of a knife, was arrested for arson, for lighting a fire in a multi-residential building, and was arrested for aggravated assault after stabbing an individual while engaged in an altercation. In addition, he has been arrested for the suspect of multiple mischief to property offenses, theft, break and enter, bail violations, and breach of probation, Liquor Act offenses, and impaired operation of a motor vehicle. Many of the individual's charges have been withdrawn, presumably due to his mental state. Where convictions have been made, they have resulted in time served or probation orders, which are routinely violated. And so ultimately, and there are many cases like this, where it's clear that the person may be unable to make decisions on their own and causing further harm, not just to themselves, but to the public at large. In reaching out to the Peel Paramedics Union and Peel Paramedics, I had also asked them, what they thought about this. And they filed correspondence for this meeting today, and I'll ask the clerk to put it up now so that we can refer to it. And because they took the short time to respond on this matter and provide their feedback and support, I wanted to read it out loud. Dear Mayor Brown and Brampton Council, I'm writing on behalf of the 900 paramedics that serve the region of Peel. Recent discussions about the creation of a mandatory treatment regime for people suffering repeated overdoses or recurrent mental health crisis could save lives if implemented properly. Paramedics, police officers, and firefighters respond to hundreds of calls for service for these individuals, and in our current system, paramedic care is often the highest level of medical care these folks get before declining transportation. They even reject transportation to the hospital. While the Mental Health Act allows for the apprehension of a patient who is a threat to themselves or others, or who cannot take care for themselves, the Act does not permit detention for chronic situations once the danger is removed. Put more bluntly, for overdose patients, once the naloxone wakes them up, they are free to walk away. And so the story goes. The result can be multiple calls to the same individual, like the individual I just referenced, for the same problem in the same day. Beyond being frustrating, this is a life-threatening situation for the patient. Additional tools are needed to support folks like this. And that's what this is about, which is why I wholeheartedly, from my personal experience as a counselor dealing with this situation, in addition to talking to various stakeholders, including paramedics and the police, folks, this is not about choosing one thing over the other. This is about adding something new to our tool belt to deal with this crisis that is faced by municipalities across the entire country, and making sure that we save lives, because the status quo of just relying on voluntary treatment is doing nothing to help severe cases like this. And in fact, it's causing a lot more strain on public safety as well as strain to our first responders. And so on that note, because Peel paramedics sent in their correspondence, I just wanted to make a couple of amendments. And actually, Councillor Paleshi made that one already. So a couple of amendments. So to number 2, that the pilot project be based on British Columbia model of compassionate treatment for those in crisis threatening their own life, and include stakeholders such as Peel paramedics, because Peel paramedics has asked to be part of the process in developing the pilot. So, and include stakeholders such as Peel paramedics and other first responders and medical professionals. And then the other piece in this, and I know Councillor Paleshi added that we forward this, Councillor Paleshi, to local MPPs and MPs and ministers?
I added that in for just through voice.
Oh, okay. So I think that we should also add that this be immediately, if and when passed by this council, immediately forwarded to the region of Peel as part of the discussion tomorrow. And that we should also forward the correspondence from Peel paramedics and the delegation from Peel Regional Police today. I'd be happy to second the motion, Mayor Brown.